Hello everyone, Carmine from New York here. Welcome to my class number 259. I have been a professional photographer here in Manhattan for the last 50 years. I'm giving back to the community for a wonderful 5-decade career in photography. My pleasure is to give you guys tips, tricks, and just good old information and education in photography. This channel does not sell anything. There are no links to any products that you can buy. This is just good old-fashioned photography education. Okay, guys, please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up, comment below, email me any question you have about photography. My personal email address is blackandwhitephoto@aol.com. I'll answer all your photography questions for free. Speaking of free, my website, carminetaverna.com, there's a link in the description. You can't buy anything on this website. That's number one. What is this website for? This is my website of over 5,500 photographs that I took. And on this website, it gives you the camera gear I used, it gives you the place, the time, and what it's for. This website is to give you ideas on what to photograph and what equipment it takes to get that photograph. It's not that you should buy that equipment. There's no links to, hey, if you like this lens, click this link, I'll make a few bucks. No, this is just to break you guys out of what I call writer's block equivalent, photo block. It's when you just can't think of what to photograph. You photographed everything in your neighborhood and you think there's nothing left. Go to my website, carminetaverna.com, and I will give you 5,500 ideas on what to photograph. All right. What I would like to show you today is this lens that I picked up about a year ago. This is the 7Artisans brand 60mm f2.8 manual focus lens. Now, crop factor for this camera, the Olympus OMD E-m1 Mark II, is a crop factor of 2. Which means any lens that you put on it, you multiply the focal length, in this case 60mm, by 2, which gives you in reality a 120mm focal length lens if it was an equivalent to a 35mm full frame type film or digital camera. All right, crop factor is 2. Remember that. Now, this lens is all metal. It has an f-stop, unclicked f-stop range from f2 to from f2.8 to f22. Now there's no clicks. It's smooth in between each f-stop, which means you can click on any f-stop you want. If you want to go between 5.6 and f8, you can. It's unclickable. It's just smooth as silk. The focusing is well dampened, which means it gives a little resistance, right? It'll stay where you put it. Now, 7Artisans sells this lens mostly for macro photography. And you're going to see examples of the macro photographs I took yesterday here in my home with this lens. Now, The subject was very simple. Last week was Mother's Day, so there were plenty of flowers around the house, starting to droop a little bit, so my wife didn't really mind if I took one of the drooping roses and used it as a prop for these photographs. Now, as you look at the photographs, okay, some of them in color, some of them in black and white, you'll see just what this ultra sharp lens can do. Now, one of my tricks is I take a small, here I have it right here. I take a small bottle and I fill it with water, and it's a spray tip. Okay, it's just a spray tip, and I'll take some of the macro photographs of the rose dry, and then some of them sprayed with water, just mist it. I mist them pretty good. I give them like 6 pumps on the spray bottle. Okay, you'll see them all how they come up in these photographs. Now, I have been asked over the years, Carm, this 7Artisans 60mm lens is good for macro, obviously, right? But how is it outdoors in landscapes? Well, I shoot at an aspect ratio of 16:9, and let's take a look at some of the landscape photos I took just this morning here in New York. As you can see, it does very, very well in landscape, but you have to remember, it's usually when you shoot landscapes, you want to get wide, right? A nice wide angle. This has a focal length equivalent of 120 millimeters, which is a medium telephoto lens, right? But it still takes gorgeous pictures, whether it's macro, whether it's landscape. But you have to remember it's manual focus. So if you have a camera like, so I want to show you these 2 photographs. Talk about depth of field, how gorgeous it is with this lens. This photograph was taken at f2.8 wide open. And now this is the same exact setup. The only thing I changed was the f-stop. I changed it to f11. Take a look at this depth of field. That's pretty cool. So it gives you an idea of just the latitude of this lens. Before I forget, it does take 49mm filters, right? And I always pick up a 49mm, well, for any lens, I pick up a Hoya or K&F UV filter, and I put that on there. And I always pick up a metal, if they have it. I usually get them on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. Metal lens hood. So this is actually what it looks like when I'm out shooting, or even inside, okay, taking macro photographs, and it prevents a lot of lens flare. Now, take a look at the quote studio setup I put right here on my desk yesterday. Pretty simple, just 2 lights. Now those lights, I did a little research on those lights that I use. I get them on Amazon. And what they are is they have a magnetic base. They're for sewing machines or a drill press or any kind of machinery that's made of metal that you want to put extra light on. So what I did is I took some blocks of wood, and it comes with these metal adhesive discs that you can put on a block of wood, and these lights just stick right to it by magnetism, and you can move them around. I find these LED lights wonderful, and the best is they have plugs, real plugs, not battery, not chargeable. So you just plug them in and you're good to go. And they're on a gooseneck, so they move around and swivel. Okay, my settings for the macro photographs that you're looking at, pretty easy. It was manual focus, ISO auto with a range of 200 to 1600, all right, aperture priority, and the f-stop was f8. Now, except for the one that I showed you where it was 2.8 and another one at f11. I go with f8 almost 100% of the time, because after 50 years of being in the photography biz, you realize that generally f8 is the sweet spot on most lenses. That's where you're going to get the sharpest aperture on most lenses is f8. So I don't even mess around. I just set the f-stop at f8 and I'm good to go. Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the review of the 7Artisans 60mm f2.8 manual focus lens mounted on the Olympus OMD E-m1 Mark II digital camera. Have a great day and goodbye from New York.